Hi everyone, I'm Yashra and welcome to another episode of Election Scoop. Today, we'll be covering the life and presidential campaign of Senator Kamala Harris. Harris was born in Oakland, California. She attended public schools in Berkeley and was one of the first students to take part in the desegregation busing program going on at that time in the United States. School districts all over the U.S. were drawn in ways that kept white and minority students in separate schools. With the coming of the civil rights movement, students from diverse neighborhoods were bused in to majority white schools, and as a young child, Harris was one of these students. She double majored in political science and economics from Howard University and got her law degree from UC Hastings. She served as a deputy district attorney in San Francisco for much of the 90s, and in 2003 was elected as the city attorney of San Francisco, serving until 2011, when she became California's attorney general. Her time as city attorney has been analyzed by both her supporters and her opponents. She supported a program to find jobs for potential inmates. She created a program to correct racial bias in the police department, and in one notable case, she resisted calls to pursue the death penalty for a man who was convicted of murdering a police officer. All this gave her a reputation as a progressive reformer, but critics have also pointed out that, among other things, she tried to keep people proven innocent in jail, she did defend the death penalty, which remains popular in California, and she did pursue school truancy policies that disproportionately affected families of color. Since her election to the United States Senate in 2016, however, Harris has been an unapologetic progressive. In the Senate, she has been fighting for an increase in the minimum wage, working to end substance abuse, and perhaps most notably, using her spot on the Senate Judiciary Committee to grill high-profile Trump appointees like Brett Kavanaugh and William Barr. Harris's presidential campaign has revolved around her being a fighter who can litigate the battle against President Trump. Her campaign slogan, Kamala Harris for the people, is actually referencing how prosecutors introduce themselves in United States courts. Her policy ideas, of course, have gone way beyond criminal justice. In the Senate, she wrote a bill called the Livable Income for Families Today Act, or LIFT Act for short. The bill would give up to a $3,000 tax credit for individuals and a $6,000 tax credit for families, which would be offset by repealing the 2017 Trump tax cuts. So many people's families, including mine and yours, could be eligible for this tax credit should it become law. Another issue Harris has been championing is raising teacher pay. If you, or anyone you know, is a teacher, you might be aware that teachers get paid notably less than other professionals with a similar amount of education. Harris's plan would give every teacher in the United States almost a $13,000 raise, with every $1 contributed to that raise by the states being quote-unquote matched by $3 given by the federal government. This program, which is slated to total $300 billion over 10 years, would be paid for by increasing the estate tax and ending tax breaks on the wealthy that have existed for decades. Here's the standard comparison of Harris with the other candidates on key policy issues. She supports free public college, single-payer health care, Supreme Court expansion, and impeachment of President Trump. On the subject of abolishing the Electoral College, she has said she is, quote, open to it. But whether that is an endorsement of completely ending the Electoral College remains unclear. In many ways, Harris is running like Barack Obama did, an upstart crusader who aims at uniting the diverse coalitions that tie together the Democratic Party. She has a compelling personal story of hard work and triumph, and she is an excellent public orator who knows how to make people listen. But being a prosecutor, representing the government and trying to put people in jail, is a very touchy job that can, and in Harris's case is, coming back to make some problems for her. Harris has always been one of the more high-profile candidates in the Democratic nomination. But after the first Democratic debate in June, she skyrocketed in the polls, more than doubling her percentage from 7 to 15%. After the second debate, which she entered with impossibly high expectations, she has shown some signs of stagnation, falling down to a little bit under 10% in the most recent polls. But new debates are coming up soon, and Harris may be able to regain her momentum. So, will Kamala Harris be able to shoot up and establish herself as the clear frontrunner? Only time will tell. So thanks for watching, and remember, don't forget to vote.